y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the CP Podcast, where we talk about stuff that CP want to talk about, because the name CP is in the podcast for a reason. That's my name. It's my podcast, CP. So I just had to name my podcast after me. This podcast is me, Junior. Welcome to CP Junior, the podcast, because this is the CP Podcast. It's not me, it's the new CP. And as always, I got my crew with me. You know, Maye got a tan and lost all her hair. And then, So we have Brennon in the building, which we're going to get back to, because I got, of course, Amir, who's back in black.
Yes,
back
sir.
in all black, like the Omen.
That's important that you're wearing black.
Yeah, bro. No, he wears black.
No, he wore white that one time.
He wore white the other day. Had me like, yo, I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was missing his Uncle Charles, y'all.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was concerned. Like, is everything okay? Blink twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So what's up, Brennan?
Chilling,
so
bro.
for y'all don't know, man, everything behind the scenes that you guys enjoy, you know, all these projects that's going on over here at Transit Pictures and Kev on Stage Studios and stuff that y'all see, y'all don't know what's going on. This guy, when I met Brennan a few weeks ago, hair down to his back, dreadlocks strong. You understand me? They are stressing him out.
Time changes.
No, I'm joking. But nah, bro, happy to have you here, man.
Thanks.
We
man.
have crazy conversations all the time anyway.
For sure.
Part of the reason why the CP podcast is even born is because of conversations that Brennan and I had. So this is exciting. Y'all are getting a chance to. This is like if Dick Wolf was on the show. You'd be like, what the fuck? Dick Wolf is on the show? You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, look, like I said, the things that I have for us today, obviously we're just gonna talk right now, but when we start getting into subject matter, I didn't try. I'm not gonna try to be Maye, because Maye is amazing.
She's
incredible.
Amazing. Shout out to Maye. She's getting married.
She is getting married. I'm gonna be there. Shout out to Maye. She's getting married this weekend. I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to the wedding.
Okay, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be in Arlington, Texas, at the Arlington Improv with Corey Holcomb. I just found out today.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm leaving in the morning, and I'll be in Texas, man.
And I'll be at your show tonight, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, I'll be at the comedy show tonight. They just work me to death. They don't give a damn. Huh?
No,
you know what I'm saying? I need a wireless charger. You know what I'm saying? Put me in a chamber. Anyway.
No, man. So look, first of all, it's actually one of the things I want to talk about first is a really fun thing. Is what happened this past week. I got to go to Alaska. And
right.
Yes, I was in Alaska.
Yes.
And everybody's been asking me about it because, you know, when you think about Alaska, what do you think about? What just came to mind?
Polar bears.
Polar bears in Alaska? Okay, that's what's up. It's like more like grizzly bear territory, but I think maybe in the
First of all.
Yeah.
You asked me what's the first thing I think when somebody says Alaska.
I didn't see the polar bear thing coming. I didn't see it coming. That's on me.
So polar bears are not in Alaska at all.
I can find out. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'll say this is that we didn't see no polar bears. I'll say that.
Well, yeah, because y'all weren't behind the wall. You guys were like, you know what I'm saying? You guys were still in you know, south of the wall in Westeros.
Let's see. Are they in Alaska? I don't think so. But we did see a lot of grizzlies. And that's actually.
What do you mean y'all saw a lot of grizzlies? And why did y'all? Because I heard the stories.
So
why did you guys
polar
see
bears on the northernest tip of Alaska?
Thank you.
But
yes.
barely.
Well,
so
hey,
that's like saying.
What's the state bear of Alaska?
The grizzly, for sure.
The grizzly is the state bear?
I didn't know if there was such thing as a state bear.
I just made that up, but it just sounds like every state got a little state bear. You know what I'm saying?
It
like
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Little like Rhode Island is the teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even a real bear, just a little bear. Anyway, go ahead.
Bear.
The lobster bear. So
that'd be like Connecticut, because you know they're so small. They're not really.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Connecticut.
Shout out to Connecticut, man.
Really?
No.
Exactly.
So anyway.
No, so look, so I was gonna say, like, have you ever heard of Kodiak Island before? Since we're talking about bears.
Is that the ugly corner?
Kodiak, like grizzly. Have you heard of a Kodiak grizzly?
The ugly corner.
The ugly corner?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I see what you just did there. Wow. That's how we feel?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What's the ugly corner?
Kodak Black's box.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Kodak Black. Exactly. That's what I'm like, yo, Kodak Black just shot.
Shout out to all my gremlins. Shout out to all my gremlins. I knew the perk was fake, but I ate it anyway. That's crazy.
Wow.
Hey man, you knew the perk was fake. It's already a dangerous drug. It's not even a real one,
bro.
Gremlin. Go ahead.
So, in the bear community,
look at these bears, man.
So those are the Kodiak bears, though. So like brown bears are technically, like all grizzly bears are technically brown bears, right?
Okay.
And so Kodiak is the biggest of the grizzlies. It's only native to one island off the coast of Alaska called Kodiak.
Hold up. I've heard of these Kodiak bears. Yes. They're only in one place in the world?
One island. It's called the Kodiak Island. That's where they are.
In the whole world?
In the whole world. But look, you see this picture with like these people? And look how big these bears are? It's like, what?
I'm not gonna lie though, bro. Like when I think bear, this is the bear that.
Well, the thing is, it looks exactly the same as a regular grizzly bear. It's just bigger. So this is when you think bear, you're right. This is what you're thinking of. But like, for example, like a regular grizzly, like anywhere else, gets up to like 1,000 pounds. Like these ones get up to like almost like 1,500 pounds. Like,
okay, so they're just a little bigger. I wonder,
50% bigger is a little bigger.
Yeah, 50% bigger. I mean, if you already big as fuck anyway, then 50% is like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Bigger as fuck. But here's the thing.
Bigger as fuck.
What is it about? So they're the same species.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
These seem to be possibly more prehistoric.
Well, actually, let's see. Our Kodak bear is bigger than grizzly bears. The average Kodak bears are 1,500 pounds, and stand anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall. And the average grizzly weighs up to 1,200. And that's nothing to scoff at. There's a huge difference.
Hold up, they only stand from at 5 to 8. So there's a 5-foot grizzly bear that's full grown. That's like me.
Those are like the the female grizzlies and stuff.
Okay,
like
well,
that.
we didn't have to go into. Yeah, I am. I don't think the grizzly is gonna be the grizzly probably like 5'8", just like me. You know what I'm saying? Like a dude who probably like into technology type of bear. Like he's not really just like a brawn bear. He's like a smart bear. Like he get all his bear bitches by like real good sapiosexual conversations.
Sapio or sapio?
Hey. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess you're not one. That's for sure.
Definitely not one. I never claimed to be. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. That shit sound like some shit you eat for breakfast. Like we had cereal, pancakes, sapiosexual. It was real good. That's what it sounded
that'd
like.
be a hell of a breakfast, though.
It sounds fucking okay. Well, I guess
magically delicious.
But no, yeah.
So I was saying, Kodiak, archipelago. I can't even say that word.
I found in the Kodiak archipelago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, archipelago.
And so these bears are the second biggest type of bears in the world.
What's the first? Grizzlies? I mean, polars?
100%. Yeah. Polar bears are massive. Like they're so much
Can we pull
bigger.
up a size comparison for polar bears? And because I mean, like, so look, it was a bear at Michigan State that they had like killed and stuff. It was in this natural sciences building, and it was a polar bear, and it was huge, but it still didn't have the big ass head like these.
7 to 10 feet.
So a Kodak and a polar bear
are about the same size. Yeah.
Yeah, I think polar bears are like the
across the board.
So, but this is what an average. But you see this right here. This is like the average size of a grizzly bear, and that's the average size of a polar bear. So they're significantly bigger. The biggest grizzly bears are the size of the average polar bear.
So now here's another thing that I heard. The only difference between a polar bear and a grizzly bear is the fact that the polar bears are white.
I don't think so at all. Like polar bears like live in a complete. Well, first of all, like you have to like polar bear skin is actually black, and their hair is see through. And the reason they look white is because they're always against white backgrounds for the most part. And
I don't understand. If their skin is black,
their skin is black,
and their fur is see through.
Watch, I'll show you. Polar bear skin. See that's right there. And she's polar bear's coat has no white pigment. In fact, a polar bear's skin is black and the hairs are hollow. They have a thick layer of body fat which keeps them warm while swimming, and double layer coat that insulates them from the cold Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference, as far as I know, the biggest difference between polar bears and grizzlies, outside of like just the shape of them, like you see how their heads are smaller in comparison to their body. They also have like webbed feet because they swim. Where grizzly bears can swim, but they're like these polar bears can swim.
No.
You know
yeah, they swim like manatees and shit. Like there's a big mass of.
You wouldn't believe all the stories I got in Alaska. Of like about polar bears, about grizzly bears, and the stories of things that we experienced.
You ain't getting no stories about polar bears because when I asked you was the polar bears up there, you just had to go and research.
About the Arctic. They were talking about the Arctic. They weren't talking about Alaska.
So tell me, give us a couple of stories.
All right. Well, how about this? Do you want the stories they told me or the stories that happened to us?
Well, obviously we'll get to the stories that happened to you.
Okay. Well, the stories. So one of the stories they told us is, first of all, I was there with Pat Cloud.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Pat.
And we found out that, moose are huge, right?
Oh, that's another thing that's huge.
Huge. 1,700 pounds, 13 feet high. 13 feet at the tip of their horn.
Like,
whatever it's called.
They're literally like, have you seen that video of that moose walking and it just in the middle of the street, like on the island in the middle of the street in SUVs?
Yeah, going by and it's just like,
it's like dwarfing like Jeep Cherokees.
For sure. Definitely seen that.
Okay.
That's what they look like. So in that space, that's what I thought. I was looking at that and I'm like, these things, there's nothing that's going to fight them. Like, what is going to kill something that big? Come to find out, moose are soft, bro. Like, they get eaten by everything. One grizzly bear can take out a moose. Any pack of wolves can take out a moose. And wolverines. And I was like...
Whoa.
What is a wolverine?
What is a wolverine?
You know what a wolverine is? Oh, these are the assholes of nature. Wolverines and badgers are like the toughest.
Honey badgers, baby.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that. Let me put an animal.
I'll say not the X-Men dude, of course.
They're the honey badgers of the East, or like not that, but yeah, they're like these. Like they're pretty intense.
I don't think I've
Wolverines-
ever seen this before.
You ever seen a Wolverine before?
No. I
I've
don't
never
think
seen
so.
My
one.
sister
I
would
don't,
be.
I've never seen one in person, but like,
I've never seen one in person either.
you know, U of M. They
Yeah,
have-
exactly. My sister went to U of
That's
M.
why I never heard of actual
Yeah, they're
Wolverine
like that's
before.
like a tough ass mascot, low key.
It is. What is so special about a Wolverine animal? Thick, dense. Yeah, it's the same thing as. It's pretty much the same thing as like a honey badger. Their thick skin and fur makes it so hard for them to get
Bit.
Yeah, it makes it hard for they can do whatever they want.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
the thing is Wolverines are like extremely aggressive and strong and really good fighters, and they also will work in teams, so they can take out moose too. Everything takes out moose. The wolves, the bears, the Wolverines.
So basically, a moose is like a big ass supersized deer, there for snacking, and okay.
Yeah,
Dang, but
so
they-
that leads
but-
to the story though. So
Okay.
there was this guy who was a hunter we met, and I was asking him, I was just like, yo, like these moose are huge, you know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing gonna mess with them out here. He's like, bro, everything messes with them out here. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, we had 2 moose in this enclosure right here, full grown male moose, and one grizzly bear, like a regular sized grizzly bear, got into that enclosure and killed both of them. And I was like, what? He's like, oh yeah, we had to kill the bear because otherwise it was gonna kill all the rest of the animals that we have here. Because it was like at this wildlife thing. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, but if they weren't in an enclosure, the moose could outrun them. He's like, I'll tell you a story. I was out hunting, and I was like waiting for this giant male moose to like, he's a probably 1,500 pound male, 12 feet tall. And he was like, the moose was like walking down one of these animal trails, and he was like, I'm gonna shoot it when he gets to this particular spot. And he didn't know that on the other side of this trail there was a grizzly bear laying there waiting. First of all, I didn't know grizzly bears hunted. I didn't know they laid in waiting, and I also didn't know they jumped.
So they ambush.
They ambushed. So it jumped. Soon as the moose got to the right spot, it jumped up in the air, and then one paw swipe to the back of the neck, dead. One swipe from the air, and every single person.
Wait a minute, it jumped up and came down with the swipe.
with what came down with the swipe, killed it in one swipe. And I'm like, I don't believe you. And somebody else was like, I was there. He was like, I was there. That definitely happened. And grizzly bear swipes are absolutely devastating. They will kill almost anything. They like, it'll take your head off one swipe.
Let's please let's Google some grizzly bear swipes, please, because goddamn,
Grizzly.
one swipe killed a moose. Can you imagine? Imagine Will Smith go on stage and
What?
Chris Rock is a moose and Will Smith is a bear, and we all sitting there like, all right, here comes Will, and bow, and then Chris Rock is dead because the slap was. How much force does a grizzly bear see?
25,000 pounds per square a foot
What?
a second.
Oh my God.
That is insane. How strong are grizzly bears? They can have a paw force swipe force of 25,200 pounds per foot per second. About 783 pounds of force, which is 2 to 5 times stronger than the strongest human, pretty much. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I can't.
That's terrifying.
That
though.
is so terrifying.
I mean, look how big their paws are, though.
Look at that paw.
Oh yeah, let's go back to that. Hold on a second. Yo, look at this paw. Can we just have a like?
Yo.
Nah, fam.
Oh no! Look at the swipe right there, bro. Can you
Where?
imagine getting slapped like that? Over, right there.
Oh, I couldn't.
That's
do
the
it.
arm extended.
Yep.
That's him asking for a dab. He ain't even just look at his head down. What up, my nigga? What's going on? What y'all finna do? All right, so I'm gonna holler at y'all. Dog, look at the foot over her face.
Can't do it, man. Can't do it. These things are. Look, this guy's face. He got swiped by. Oh my
He had to
god.
have facial reconstruction.
No, gee.
No.
Is that a
no.
gorilla?
Where?
Is that
right there.
Photoshopped or something?
That's Photoshop.
Yeah.
Gorilla would
I said
definitely.
never-
Gorilla would definitely lose that fight
Oh, he would definitely lose that fight.
all day. Oh, look at that. This one got swiped on his back.
Bruh.
So the reason I'm showing you all this and talking about it is because, so first of all, like that's one thing that was a common theme in Alaska, is that all the people who lived there had experiences with grizzly bears, and every single person had nothing but respect and crazy stories to tell about them. Absolutely crazy stories. Like one dude was like, I accidentally left a bunch of salmon in the back of my car one time.
Oh my God.
And I got back to my car the next day and the car was pretty much flattened. Like the whole thing was flattened to the ground. A bear came and stomped it to the ground until it opened the whole thing up like a can of like salmon and opened it up and then ate the salmon out of it and then left. But he said the whole car was completely flattened. And I'm just like, what do you mean completely flattened? Like how much? He's like, the tires were off of it. The tires are off. Like you couldn't open the doors anymore. He's like, there was no cabin space. Like everything was crunched down. It's like you put it into a compactor, is what he said. He's like, a grizzly bear did that to get to the salmon in my car. He's like, one thing that everybody said in common is like, if the grizzly bear wants something, it's going to get it. That is as simple as it gets. If it wants it, it's going to get it. And so I couldn't, I didn't know. I was like, we should respect them and be away from them, but they are extremely impressive animals.
Okay, so here's my question.
What up?
Oh my God, look at that lady's head.
I never realized how big they were though. Like, look at this. Look at how, like, so what we're looking at right now is pictures of people holding up the paws of grizzly bears that they've probably killed. And the paws are bigger than both of their hands and their head put together.
Low key, the paws are the size of their chest.
Yeah, it's like the whole
that lady right there.
Yeah, this lady right here.
The paws are the size of their chest.
Her whole upper body is the size of the open paw of this bear plus its claws. So imagine one swipe from that.
And she a little plump bitch too. She ain't no skinny woman. That's a big ass lady right there.
Man, so
he would slap her ass off. Her ass would just fall off.
It would literally. She would literally, if that thing slapped her, all she would have left is ass and legs. Like, it'd be it.
What?
And so, you want to hear our story of what we
I'm
had?
about to say, did you guys have any encounters with grizzly bears?
We had an encounter with grizzly bears.
Oh, let me get my Cheetos. I'm putting the microwave. I need to hear this.
All right, so there's a couple people that you know in this story. Obviously, Pat and Katrina. You're gonna love to talk to her about this one, and you're gonna see her tonight too. And she hates that I tell this story because, well, you'll see.
Shout out to the Crack 'em Up Comedy Show at the Comedy Store every Thursday. She's gonna be there tonight, along with Clayton Thomas and a bunch of other crazy comedians.
Yes, sir. So we're on the river. We're on the riverbank. We had just finished having Pat attempt to do some fly fishing, which was hilarious. And the riverbank had some trees that were right up against it. So we're like on one side of those trees, and you can't really see down the riverbank that well because the trees go almost all the way out there. There's only a little tiny bit of space you can step back when you're almost in the water at that point to be able to see down the riverbank, right? And so we're on the other side of it, and Pat gets up on top of a rock because we're going to do an interview with him on this big-ass rock. And as soon as he gets up on the rock, I'm standing by the riverbed, and I just hear him say, "Bear, bear, bear." And then, so I look over at Pat, and he's looking down the riverbank because he can see because he's up above on this rock, and he's starting to jump down from the rock. And I look where he's looking, and there is a full-grown mother grizzly bear running directly at us down the riverbank, about 100 yards away.
What?
With the two cubs right behind it, coming straight at us. And so we all, like our person who's like our guide there, she drops, like she's like, everybody walk to the car as quickly as you can. Don't run. The idea is you do not run from grizzlies because then they will chase you and you do not want to get chased. So she's like, everybody do that. And so we dropped all of our gear right there because it was too close and coming too fast. We dropped our gear and then we start going up the hill. Now, fun part of the story. This is where Katrina's going to hate this story. She claims, I'll tell you my version, I'll tell you her version, and then she can try to correct it. My version is there's about 6 of us. There's 7 of us. We're going up the hill. The person who's guiding us is in the front. I'm second. There's 2 people behind me, so I'm third from the back. And we're starting to go up, and I look up, and I just see this big cloud of white dust. I hear a cloud of white dust, and I'm like, I dodge it, but I get a little bit on me, but I'm like, oh, wow, what was that? I didn't even think about it because I'm terrified of the bear, right? And I start going. The dust hits the 2 people behind me. Turns out Katrina, in a panic, had sprayed her bear mace into the wind. And so then it came back on us and hit the 2 people in the back that are closest to where the bear is. One of them, the sound guy, John, was coughing and like crying and stuff like that, but he understood the assignment. You know what I'm saying? I need to get up this hill. So this brother, keeps going up the hill. I'm starting to go up the hill. I turn around. Maye, our client, actually, who got sprayed in the face, she is completely disoriented. She can't breathe. She doesn't know what's going on. She's in the path of the bear. I go back down there. I like, give me your hand. She reaches her hand out. I grab her. I pull her up the hill. As soon as we get up the hill, the bear runs up, stops, looks at us, keeps going. And that was probably the most terrifying experience. One of the most terrifying experiences I've had in my life. Imagining those pictures of this right here running straight at you with 2. The big thing they always tell you is stay away from the kids, the cubs. The cubs are right behind her. So you see her and 2 cubs looking at you and running at you 100 yards away.
Were they cute?
The cubs are real cute.
Aw.
The mom looked like this. This is the image in my head almost. It was looking like that running at me.
Was it making noise like?
Bro, when I tell you I saw it and immediately didn't want to see it anymore, like I didn't stare, I didn't stop. Nobody was even, it was so scary. Like, everybody's like, did you get a video? Did you get it? Like, you don't understand. When your life flashes before your eyes and you're like looking at something that would destroy you. And it's like the scary thing about bears is that they're faster than you, they're stronger than you, they can climb better than you. The only thing you can do about a bear is be in a car, have a gun, or have bear mace.
You can juke.
No, you cannot.
You can juke.
You can, but how far is it gonna get you?
I mean,
you gonna break a bear's ankles? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's a way where you could be like, oh my God, I'm running this way. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so how fast is the fastest human?
Michael,
Usain Bolt. How fast is Usain Bolt? How fast is that?
He about fast as me.
25, 6 months.
25, 26? Okay. How fast is a grizzly?
That's my estimate.
Ooh, those are images. That's wait, what was the image of what it looked like? It looked kind of like, no, it had its mouth open when I looked. It looked kind of like that when it's coming at me, but we'll go to here right quick. The fastest human ever is 10 miles an hour slower than an average grizzly bear. You're not outrunning that thing. And your juke doesn't matter. It's only going to get you one more step.
They can't maintain that top speed for long. Their ability to sprint fast and maintain high speeds makes them exceptionally effective predators.
Did you see that? The top speed, they're very long. Their ability to sprint fast and maintain high speeds. Like, that's how they can chase down a moose. That's how they chase down deer. They get deer all the time.
All right, now I need some bear videos. Can we please hit
Do you want to do
Let's
this?
have videos at the
Bears
top.
running?
I need bears running and bears killing things. Or bear ambush.
Can a human outrun a bear? No, it cannot.
It says, do not try this.
You tell me which one you want me to click on.
That's the first one.
The top one right here?
I think if it's running.
So either way, I was tell you guys that was probably one of the scariest things. But oh wait, so there's a grizzly bear. And I just saw a caribou. Look
Oh my God.
Look how big those things are.
Bruh.
Look at the bear. The bear is like rock.
The deer can barely see it, I feel like.
That's how they run. Like, you see that Dumpty thing? That's what it was doing. It was like doo doo doo. How fast it's going.
Wow.
Can't do it.
That's a real gallop too. That's what
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
you ain't running that. Yep. I'm right there. I'm tired and I'm gonna fall.
It's over at that point, right?
Oh,
Hey, look at all
he
those.
deep out. Oh, he is in.
Oh wow, he gonna get something.
He missed that little
Yeah,
train.
he did. He missed the whole thing.
He's like, damn. All right, where they go this way? All right.
He's still running though. Like, why are you still running? They gone, bro. But you see how fast it is though?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Bear got a big ass on her.
It was that she
Some
thick.
big booty
Yo,
ass
she
bear.
thick. She about that life.
Big booty bear.
So yeah, man, Katrina sprayed people while he's running from a bear. Was it to protect herself?
Yeah, she was,
Oh, so her version. You know her version?
she was seasoning up them white people so that the bear would have somebody to get first.
The best part is our sound guy was the only white dude there. She definitely seasoned
She
him up real
seasoned his
good.
ass up. Pepper spray for a bear. Bear like, ooh, what is these? Some pepper steak, niggas?
Hilarious.
Go ahead.
Her excuse was it's just like, I ain't never seen one of these bear mace spray things work before, so I wanted to do a test spray into the bushes. I was like, so the test spray time that you decided to do that was when the bear was coming into the wind.
And what was said to that?
Oh, nothing. She's like, nah, I didn't panic. That's what she says.
She stuck with her story about not panicking.
Oh yeah, bro. She stuck with it. Look, first of all, I got nothing but love for Katrina. She did an excellent job on that project. I bring her with me anywhere she wants to go because she's fire.
Psych.
But she don't get no more bear mace. Like, that's the rule now. She's not the one.
Oh man, that's some wild shit, bro. I can't even hold you.
No, but it was good. Like, everything ended up being okay. You know how it goes. All's well that ends well. So that was absolutely insane. But we saw everything out there, man. I saw orcas for the first time. I saw, like I said, bears, caribou, wolves, porcupines.
Bears, caribou, wolves, porcupine.
Didn't see any wolverines. We saw a lot of bald eagles.
I was gonna ask you that. I was on the phone with y'all yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. We was
Yeah.
talking, and we do be talking.
Yeah, hit you up. You talking about that shit? You was like, "Yo, CP, a bald eagle just flew right by me." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you didn't even know I was in Alaska, did you?
Nah, you like, I was gonna like, man, I'm in Alaska. Like, all right,
There's a
stunner.
bald eagle. You
Yeah.
hear it in the background.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, bald eagles were actually everywhere.
Are they really super fucking huge?
They're huge. Yeah. So like, imagine the biggest crow that you've seen ever in your life. It's like the smallest bald eagle looks like that. They're normally probably 50% bigger than that. So I'd say the biggest wingspan I saw is probably like 5.5, 6 feet. It's a big ass bird. But the thing is, like, how what bald eagles are actually like. Like, it's kind of disappointing.
I heard they're kind of goofy.
Not that they're goofy, like they're scavengers. Like,
it's a recession.
They're like vultures. They're
Well,
more
yeah,
like vultures than
they can hunt. They will go and hunt fish and stuff like that. But if they don't have to hunt, they're not gonna. So like, you'll see bald eagles digging through trash cans and shit. So for me, it's just funny. It's like, it's the American symbol, like this patriotic bird. And it's just like, you go to Alaska and it's like there's a garbage can over there. It's just like they're just in there looking majestic still, but just like trash, just like digging through the trash and just eating babies.
Times are hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is not like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? You go to an eagle, like, what happened to you? Serve this bitch ass country for a long time and didn't get nothing back? That's what it is. Look on your dollar. I'm on $1. You think I got $1 to my motherfucking name? Hell no. That's America for you.
Only humans get these money.
That's
man.
America for you, man. They ain't taking care of their goddamn egos. Ain't that a bitch?
It's crazy. And the other thing is, like, when we were kids, do you remember being taught about like how endangered they were and like how we have to protect them?
It's hella of them.
Bro. Like, well, the thing is now is like the reason they were endangered is because of a certain pesticide that was being used that made their eggs soft. And because their eggs got soft, most of the babies would die before they could be hatched.
Damn.
They stopped using the pesticide. So now they're everywhere. Like, there's eagles everywhere. Like, they're not endangered at all anymore. Like, they have, like, not only are they...
Yeah, because birds dropping like a dozen eggs. They dropping like 18 eggs or some shit probably, right?
I don't know. I don't think bald eagles drop 18 eggs, but their nests, you see them everywhere. They're huge.
The nests?
Their nests are, bro, let me show you how big a bald eagle's nest is. Like, you can't miss it. It's like people are like, oh yeah, we want to see some bald eagles or something like that. People just point up and you're just like, you see that giant clump in those trees? That is a bald eagle's nest. Like, they're huge.
Really?
Look at this. Look at like that. Look at these nests.
No, look, that dude is sitting in
in
it.
one. That's
so
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
be inside that.
This man is
What?
sitting inside of a bald eagle's nest.
Bruh. I wonder how long it takes them to make that.
I don't know. But I do
'Cause
know.
that's-
But you see like
that's like-
Bald eagles are raising young in nests the
that are
size of hot tubs.
Like, because you got to collect that stuff. So that means that they're probably breaking like branches off or sticks off and stuff like that to collect and then put it together.
Well, they renovate them too. So like they build it, like even
What?
shows right here. It's like the first year, like this is the first year of it. Here's the second year. Like every year they come back to the same nest and they make it bigger.
And birds are.
Man.
It's like every week we learn something new about
hell,
birds.
fuck it. Bro,
It's
these
like,
nests are...
but you have to imagine, like, you see these nests, but like imagine that these things are like 50 feet in the air because they build them on the top of these trees.
Well, yeah, you also have to imagine that these are some big ass birds.
They are. They're huge.
Like that's how big Big Bird's nest is. Every now and then they would show Big Bird's nest, and I'd be like, man, Big Bird's a fucking loser, low key, for not leaving the nest. A or B, not having no bitches in his nest, and he done built this nest and no whole birds is coming through.
That is the size of a bald eagle. its wingspan is taller than you and I, CP.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like,
Look
go
at
to
that.
that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna tell you right now, I will sock the shit out of eagle.
That's how you feel? Bro, that is a Pokemon if I've ever seen one.
An eagle?
Look at, yes. Like, I'm just saying, can't you imagine be like, all right, quick attack. Eagle be like, got you, fam. Like,
yeah, look at the rudders on that bitch. Look at them fingertips.
Say the rudders.
Them fingertips just...
They have a fierce
He
looking
said
face.
the rudders.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, man, they're pretty intense. Another thing I learned while we were out there is that bald eagles don't sound at all like you think they do, whatsoever. The sound that you just made,
They don't scream?
that's a red falcon, like a red-tailed falcon. That's not a bald eagle. They put that sound on bald eagles because they said that's the most badass sounding bird. That's not what a bald eagle sounds like. They don't sound dope at all. Like,
What they sound like?
bald eagle. Can I play a sound? Can we do that?
Yeah, just how your volume up. Put the mic here.
Let's see. Volume is up. There you go. Bald eagle sounds. After, of course, we have to go through the commercials. But I was surprised because you can hear them. I was like, what's that sound? They're like, that's bald eagles. I'm like, what?
Is it unmuted?
Is that the sound you thought of when you think of a bald eagle?
I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty dope.
You think it's dope?
Yeah, because you ever heard of pigeon? Pigeons.
No, I mean, I've been around.
Pigeons sound like somebody shooting dice and they throw it. Like,
But you know, they're little tiny pigeons. But the thing is, that's not the sound. You think of the cat. Like I can't. You
look at his fucking mouth.
Bald eagles.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it. It's kind of seagully a little bit. It's kind of
it sounds like a
seagullish.
seagull.
Yeah, but that made the seagulls think everything cool. Like, y'all hear that? I heard some seagulls over here.
That's the sound you think, right?
You're right. That is a falcon. Go back.
That's a red-tailed falcon.
Yep. Damn, that motherfucker's sweet.
Right? That's the sound, but that's in TV. You know, movie magic.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Yeah,
But I've heard that in real life. Too,
Yeah, I'm about to say, because in California, out here by my crib, they got hella
you hear them.
hawks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You hear that sound, but you ever seen a
we
bald
also
eagle?
have we also got parrots.
Oh, the green
Bro,
ones?
I got
Green one.
yeah.
There's
There's
a-
a lot
there's
of parrots.
So
where
like
I'm
the
at,
pet
too.
shop that burned down in 1970.
Yeah, you heard about that. Yeah.
And the owner was able to release all of the birds, and they stuck around, made it, and this particular bloodline of parrots survived. And it's like this green,
They have green with like
a
the
red. Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
They're
I mean,
beautiful. They
yeah.
always stick together. It's like a
Yep.
big ass group of them, and it's
Yeah.
just like
So did we talk about all the different birds that could talk? Did we? I feel
Yeah,
like
we talked about that
we talked
in
about
the
that like
last one or
last
2
week.
weeks ago.
Ravens can talk,
yeah. Mhm.
bro.
They can mimic ravens
They
and
can
crows.
talk great.
And that
Really?
dang, I forgot the name of the other one. It started with like an S or something that I showed you, and they made that R2D2 noise.
It was a
Man.
it was a
Oh,
not a sparrow, but a
something like that though.
Shit. Yo, pull it up so that caffeine, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on caffeine
I'm
can
gonna
see
try to
it.
find it again.
And I'm in these comments too, man. If y'all in these comments, bro, y'all want to kick it? Okay,
Damn,
cool.
this
Somebody
nigga-
said look up an African gray parrot. We'll look that up next. But right now, look up ravens talking.
Raven talking. This one? Oh yeah, you're not looking at that. That's me. Hold on a second. Like this.
Yeah, this one.
That's literally the video.
This is the video that we watched.
All right, here we go.
Ravens are excellent at mimicking sounds they hear. Mischief, can you say hello?
Hello.
Good bird.
What?
He does all sorts of voices. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Good job. And sometimes he hears people who have a cold. Good job, Mischief.
You see a little coughing.
Sometimes they have mine of their
Can you
own.
say hello? No. Hello. He's all excited about hi.
Hi.
Good
Hi.
boy.
Hi. Damn, I want a raven. And I
This
want to
was
send
the,
them
this was the other one. It's called a
a swallow.
A starling.
A starling, yeah.
Gonna give him a kiss. Gonna give him a kiss.
What?
Gonna give him a kiss.
Get out of here, bro.
Bruh, this makes me feel like birds might be little recording devices that they're not. What if birds aren't real?
Precious.
I've heard that conspiracy.
The
What
pigeon,
the
the
fuck?
pigeon thing is the one that people talk about. It's like pigeons are spies. That's what people were saying.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what if
pigeons are
birds are
spies.
just not real? Like you could have a fake bird and send that bitch. Look up African gray parrots though. My man said it in here, or somebody said it in here. I don't
African
know.
gray parrot talking.
Yeah, I guess it's African gray parrot doing what the fuck African gray parrots do,
All right.
being African and gray and parroting.
Oh, I think I've seen one
I
of
think
these
I've seen
before.
this before.
Yeah, I've seen one of these, but I thought that was called. I thought that was like a cockatoo or something.
What's your name?
What?
Petra, where's your laser?
Nah,
It's not.
it's not as good.
It's not as good.
Yeah, this
Like parrots.
Bear talking.
Yeah, parrots are cool, but parrots kind of sound like Scooby Doo a little bit. With how Scooby Doo talk like a dog,
Yes.
but it's that's how
Yeah.
parrots do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones are more
The
like
other ones are more
they
like
mimic the entire
yes, they
sound
mimic the
of
whole
person.
sound.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what makes me think they're mimicking like the sound waves of shit. Like, like they can almost like see how the sound is being like manipulated almost.
Right.
Because for them to be able to do that is just crazy. They got little bitty ears. Their ears is little.
Yeah,
as hell.
little, and they're under the feathers.
Yeah,
too.
they
Little
like
holes
they
on the
hearing
side
that
of
shit.
their
I'm
head.
giving it back to you. No, I think they repeating. I think other animals can see different things. So, anyway, all right. So
I got a transition for this. You
okay,
ready?
what's up?
All right. So one of the things, I don't know if you knew this about me or not. Almost anybody who gets to know me really well knows I'm obsessed with whales and dolphins and stuff.
Okay, I'm about to say, bro, don't say nothing crazy because I'm a little high. I don't know if I can take it.
Well, it's about to get crazy. So
that's when a nigga pull his whole front row teeth out. Like, I don't
he's
know
like,
if
yo,
you
bro,
knew
if you didn't know.
this. Right? No, but go ahead.
No, so like we're talking about parrots talking and mimicking. Is like most people don't realize like how complex like dolphins and whales are.
I agree. I was watching a video earlier. You saw that video where that dude was in the Bahamas was slapping five with them dolphins.
What? No, I haven't seen this.
Oh, it's one of my favorite videos.
So what do I even type in?
A guy in the Bahamas giving slapping five with dolphins or giving dolphins dap.
High fives, dolphin.
Yeah, yep, high fives dolphin.
Here we go.
No, scroll down. I'll tell you which one.
Doesn't-
They was like, yes, sir. They slapped their hand and shit. That shit.
I
Was
think I
sweet.
seen the one. It was like it was like off the side of. Was he in a boat and then he was?
No, it was like on the side of like a dock.
Oh
And
yeah,
he
yeah.
was like,
And
"Give me
they came
five."
up and he was,
Pow! But the way they slapped his hand, it was like, oh, this dolphin used to be a nigga.
I know exactly what video you're talking about. I don't know where to find it, but I know
Oh,
exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
on my Instagram, so I'm gonna look for it while you looking for it. But go ahead though. So finish your statement about.
No, so for me, I've always been like obsessed with whales and dolphins. I actually remember like when I was in, I think, first grade, we were learning about animals, right?
Mhm.
And the teacher was like, "Does anybody have any questions?" Like she was talking about a giraffe or some stuff or dinosaurs, and I was
found
like,
it.
"You found it?"
Yeah, but go ahead.
So
Finish
you
up.
could just text it to me if you want. I'll put it up there. Yo, there was.
You see the second one? How
Yeah,
geeked he
he's
was?
like,
So
"Bah."
happy to do it.
Like they love this nigga, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, it works well for him. I'm about to tell
I'ma
you
show
about
the
these.
camera.
Marks.
Hold on.
He's like, the camera has to see.
Oh, hold on.
Right there.
CP is so happy.
Yes, sir. One more time. I love these little dolphin niggas. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So when I was in first grade, the teacher asked us if we had any questions after she taught us about dinosaurs or something. And I said, "Hey, teacher, what is the biggest animals to ever exist? Period." She was like, "Well, do you know the answer?"
Yeah, it's like a blue whale or like
100%.
a derivative of.
No,
Okay.
blue whale.
Yeah.
So she's like, "A blue whale," and I was like, "What is that?" And then ever since then, going down the hole of what whales are, like the rabbit hole of what whales are,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff, I have not lost a moment of interest because it just goes crazy when you realize like these massive, the biggest thing that's ever lived is a mammal, just like us, swims in the ocean and pretty much runs shit.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
No judgment.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not saying I want to do this, but if women had blowholes, would you put your dick in a bitch's blowhole? And would that become a thing? I feel like it would be if we had blowholes on the back of our necks.
Amir, I want Amir to answer that one.
There would be a section on Pornhub where they'd be like, yeah, fucking the bitch's blowhole.
First of all,
I feel like it would be normal then.
it would be
wouldn't
normal. It would be one of the things.
Nah, because that's an airway. It's not a mouth. Your
Your mouth is an airway
mouth is an
technically,
airway.
and
Right, but your
what
mouth
about
is the airway.
what
They
about a
also-
butt?
They have a mouth and they have that.
I get it, but what about a butt?
But it's different.
It's not.
because-
But a butt is for what? What is a butt for? It's for poop.
Right, but
I mean, we put dicks in that. Men will put their dicks in anything that feels good.
oh, that's crazy, dog.
Am I wrong? Like, I'm just saying, if it's gonna fit in there and it's gonna feel
The
good
fact
and it's
of the
on a
matter
woman.
is, the fact that I'm looking at these blowholes let me know that what you
So wait,
saying.
is that you're over? So wait, you say, hold on. Like, we're gonna take this back a second. There's judgment now. You're saying that I started talking about whales and dolphins. You see a picture of a dolphin, and the first thing you think about is putting your dick in his blowhole.
No, it's not.
that's what it seems like just happened.
It's not. But
Is
what
this
I'm
something you
saying
need to tell us,
is,
bro?
no. What I'm saying is this: they are mammals. We are mammals, right?
I don't like where this is going.
They have this blowhole on the top of their head. We don't have that. They have noses. They have mouths.
No. The blowhole is their nose.
No, because they got the long.
There's no nose on that. That's just their mouth.
Why would God not put the shit in
Well, it's because it actually moved. Their noses, so they used to actually be like four-legged creatures on the earth.
No.
Yeah, they did. Whales used to be four-legged creatures, like hooved creatures. They used to be like horses, like kind of thing. Like not horses, but they were like predators. They had long, sharp teeth.
What?
And then they started swimming and getting in the water, and over like it was like 250 million years since they got into the ocean. And after that time, like the climate started to change, the ocean started getting colder. There started to be more fish in the ocean, and then that single ancestor diverged into different kinds of cetaceans, is what they're called. And there's 3 different types of cetaceans. There's porpoises, there's dolphins, and there's whales. And they all came from that one common ancestor that went into the ocean and started swimming because they're like, well, there's a bunch of food here, and just kept adapting. And originally, its nose was on the front of it, just like a deer. Imagine like a deer with a long snout. His nose is there, but you have to imagine like. Evolutionary, if we're spending more and more time in the water, it's an advantage for my nose to be on up higher or pointed up. And over time, it moves from the front of their face all the way up to the top of their head, so they take as little effort as possible to breathe.
We aren't fucking people in the nose, though.
We're not because
Exactly.
the nose isn't big enough. What dick is gonna fit in the nose? What?
Like
a micro penis?
Well, no. Oh, Jesus, no. But what I'm saying is like, I know this girl with a big ass nose.
Would your dick fit in that nose?
No, but what I'm saying is like
That's the point, though.
right. But what I'm saying is like the noses can get bigger. What if we evolved and the noses got? If the noses was bigger, you telling me that niggas would be snot fucking
100%.
bitches. No,
Bro, I'm just saying. Okay, how about
Yeah.
this? Here's a question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Here's
you
a question
think
for you.
so?
Yeah.
Yes. Here's a question for
The
you.
thing is, because it's like it's one of those things where if you had a thought about it, somebody else probably
gonna
had
have
a
the
thought,
thought,
and then
and they're
if
gonna
it's
do it.
possible, then
It's gonna get done.
it will happen.
Bro.
I was like,
How about
imagine
this?
the
What-
first time back in the day that somebody was like, I just fucked this bitch in the throat. Can you imagine the first time somebody did that?
I just
Like
put
it
this in
wasn't a
her butt.
normal
and
thing.
niggas is like, get the fuck out of here,
Bro,
It was
it was
like, I gotta tell
crazy.
you, like, whatever.
It went all the way in. So, bro, think about it like this. Take it a step further and say, what hole on a woman has a man not violated?
That's crazy. So you think somewhere,
I mean, it's not even on a woman. What hole on a person has a man not violated? Like every hole that a dick can fit in is gonna have a dick
somebody
in it.
said
So
waste comes out of a nose though. Wouldn't that affect your meat fan? But they
But
doing
it's still
it. in
Waste
your
comes out your
nose.
butt.
It's still
Yeah.
doing anal, so
Yeah.
it doesn't. I don't. That
Waste come
doesn't
out
matter.
your mouth. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the same mucus in your nose could be in your mouth too.
Yep.
Wow. So you think somewhere somebody got fucked in the ear?
If their ear canal was big enough, yes. Someone has tried to put a dick in every single orifice on every single person's body because why not? CP.
That's crazy.
That's the reason. It's like we are going to, like, as humans, we are going to every orifice possible is what goes down. Just think about like how far we take it. You know what I'm saying? Like in every way. Like there's bestiality. You know what I'm saying? Like we took it. I'm just saying, like if you want to talk about
you're right.
I'm not
man.
saying I don't
brings me
approve
back
any
to
of these things.
That brings me back to my whole point though. Somebody has stuck a dick in a dolphin's blowhole. I guarantee it.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
gonna
I feel like,
it would be
died.
a bad choice.
Yeah.
Because that blowhole, you have
lady.
to imagine how strong the muscles are in the blowhole. They have to be at a closed tight enough not to allow water in there.
In that deep, deep pressure.
Yes. All I'm saying is the dick is gone. If you put it in there and the dolphin doesn't want it
Hey,
in there,
that's you went too far. If that's what you get in the water and you be like, And you do that, like
Now,
honestly,
the reason I say that is because they let a woman. There was a point to this. They let a woman have a sexual relationship with.
I
a
knew you were
dolphin.
going to bring this
Yeah.
up. I knew you were going to bring
And
this up.
she made a waterway into her house so that her and the dolphin could live together in a house that was also water.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And people were like, oh man, because it's a woman, they assume that this dolphin is probably fucking this woman, which I'm sure he probably was.
Yeah.
Right. But if it was a man, people would be like,
They have vaginas. You do know that, right?
right, but
like,
I'm just saying.
Like dolphins do have an equivalent to an vagina.
But if you got you a dolphin girlfriend and you talk her into some
I
crazy
can't
shit,
believe we're on this conversation
A
right now.
dolphin
You're
girlfriend.
truly talking about bestiality right now.
I'm not. I'm just
This
simply
is
saying.
is this bestiality? Amir?
Was it bestiality when that lady had that goddamn
Yes.
dolphin in? Oh yeah, it was. Okay,
Yes,
well,
it
fuck it. Well, then if it was, it was. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's what it was.
all right,
definitely
all right.
was wrong because it started off like was she helping it like it was sad. Then the lady
Yeah.
died, right? And the dolphin like didn't or
the
the
dolphin,
lady,
something happened.
I
Where
think
the
the lady
dolphin
died or
left.
something.
No, she left, and the dolphin went and looked for her, and
the
some
dolphin
shit.
killed himself, right?
Yeah, dolphin killed himself. Yep, he drowned himself.
Yeah, dolphins can do that. Like the thing is, so that's an interesting thing about whales and dolphins is that, like, you know how we are unconscious breathers.
Mhm.
Like, you don't think about breathing. It just
They got to
happens.
think about it.
They have to choose to breathe. They can just die. They can just be like, I'm not going to breathe again. and then they will die. Like they have to choose to go up to the surface and breathe every single time they breathe for the rest of their
Can I tell
entire
you
lives.
something
I was
else?
like, 'cause they're not. They
There
don't have any
also
gills.
there also is no exhale in their death. So it's not like when they die, they're like their body shuts up when it dies. So you know how like something dies,
Our body releases.
bubbles come out,
Yeah.
and then you know what I'm saying, their body's like filled up with gas. Like everything, like their lungs, everything like it like builds up.
How do you know this?
Because I've seen them explode on different videos that I've watched.
Oh, you talking about the whales like on the beaches
When
and
they
stuff?
no, not even on the beaches. I saw one explode floating on the top of the thing.
Yeah, I've seen that before too, actually.
Yeah, and the guy's like, "Oh man, look at this whale, blue!"
Yeah,
This
and
is
it's like
whale
huge explosions.
chunks.
Yeah, chunks going
Yeah,
everywhere.
crazy.
That's super dangerous, actually. Like,
Hell yeah, that should have killed the shit out of you.
yeah, if you see like a sperm whale or something like that that's like beached and it's like looking bloated, run.
Yeah.
Like you got to either poke it and release the pressure, and it's gonna be the stinkiest thing you've ever experienced,
Yeah.
or get out the way because like they goes all like they fly. If, like they said, their pieces will go for miles when they blow up
God.
like that. So
Did
it's just
somebody
like,
do something? Somebody did that at a beach or something.
yeah, they tried to like
blow it up,
They tried to
and
blow it
then-
up, and it just like was the worst idea ever. Like it ruined like a whole community. Like just whale guts everywhere.
Our prime was ruined.
Yeah, it's like
People outside take a picture and it's just raining guts.
man, it's a whale dick just
That's
slaps on
crazy.
the face.
Oh man.
Just falling from the sky. But back to what I was saying, CP. Man, this does go left, doesn't it? Good lord.
It can go left quick, man.
Man,
It can
I was
go
like,
left
yo, my
quick,
favorite
man.
animal growing up. You're like, yo, these blowholes though.
No, I'm just saying, dog. I remember looking at blue whales and them comparing them to multiple school buses.
Yes.
That's
110
insane.
feet, 400,000 tons
110 feet?
long. Yeah, that's how long they are.
So how many can be in the ocean? Like 8?
No, there's like
You know what I'm
well,
saying?
you guys don't underestimate how ridiculously large the ocean is.
I know, which is crazy.
But
'cause
no,
they can house
there's
them.
tens of thousands of them. At one point, I think there was like 100 to 300,000 blue whales before we started whaling them, or killing them, I should say.
Why would we kill them? Because it wasn't enough water.
Because like no, they was in the way. No, the reason that we were whaling, we killed everything in the ocean. So we were eating them. We were using the biggest thing is that we harvested whales' blubber, their fat that keeps them warm for oil for like lamps and we wanted the oil for that. But we would use every part of them. So like
We also, I know there was a lot of the McDonald's fish fillets from like 92 to like 99 were all like whale meat.
what?
Yep. And I just made that up.
I was like
a conspiracy here.
I was like, what do we do? Like, I need some receipts.
You need
like,
a class action lawsuit. 'Cause
Yeah,
I lived
exactly.
off fish fillets for like 8 years of my life.
I was about to just faint. Like that's what's about to happen. 'Cause I
Duh.
know I've eaten one in my life. at least.
Do you think for 1 second that that's coming from the same kind of fish? You think they're gonna stop having fish fillets because they stop having fish? No, fam. The show must go on.
So, I mean, you think they would like default to whales? I feel like they would do something else. They'd be like, all right, not fish. We're gonna do
What kois? What are we doing?
koi fish. You mean?
What are we doing?
I mean the thing. What is the name? What's that fish that you can put indoors and like they can just like
Tilapia?
tilapia all day. It probably already
Yeah.
is tilapia.
Probably already is tilapia.
Yeah,
That's probably why
tilapia
it's
is
so
like-
goddamn delicious. It could also be catfish. If they did
Catfish
a catfish
too.
fillet, just tell us that, and niggas would be lining up around the corner.
That's real.
Love that shit from McDonald's. the new catfish fillet.
Brought to you by Cat.
I was thinking if they did whales, it'd be because of how big they are and how much they can use.
How
from
much meat
one
they could
whale.
get. I feel like for a community, I was watching something and they was like getting fish like that. I feel like it might have been like Moana or something like that. I might
How the
be
hell do you
mistaken.
kill a whale anyway?
Use harpoons.
A bullet?
Harpoons. So they're like big. A harpoon is like imagine a spear that's made out of all metal.
Yeah.
And what you do is you load it into the big cannon thing, and you shoot it, and it has a rope on the end of it. So like you shoot the harpoon into the whale, and what you do is like you tire the whale out by shooting it with a bunch of them. They bleed out, or they just drown. So that's typically. And they also use exploding harpoons. So like they would shoot it, and then it would like get inside of the whale, and then like poof, would blow up.
That is terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst.
That's how they did Daenerys' dragons.
Yeah, that is how they did it.
They was shooting like them big ass strong toothpicks at her shit, and they was getting fucked up. Dallas, Texas. I am coming this weekend. Literally tomorrow morning. I gotta go home and pack. I got 9 shows. Me and Corey. And shout out to Lav Love. Lav Love is hosting. So it should be a whirl and a pearl, man. I don't get down to Texas a lot, so I'm happy to be down there and, reach out to some of the fans I got down there. Should be fun.
So I think So I want to get back to. I want to get back to this. So like, one of the things I wanted to bring up to you is I wanted to talk to you about how you think. How would you, if somebody was like, CP, how do you define intelligence? What would you say?
Intelligence has a lot to do with the ability to retain and put to immediate use information, which is why they have street knowledge and book knowledge and all different sorts of intelligence, because depending on where you're at, your ability to adapt is what your intelligence should. That's kind of the rubric that your intelligence should be kind of designed by, right? Like, for example, it would be very intelligent if I dropped you in Japan and you somehow made a way and got a job and made a life and all that. That'd be dope because you knew nothing about over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your ability to adapt speaks to your intelligence.
Okay, and so let's broaden that definition a little bit to like any kind of being. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say extraterrestrials, animals, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like the same definition applies?
Yes, I do. Here's the thing. Intelligent life is the life as we're speaking from extraterrestrials, right? Things that are not of this planet. One thing that we have realized through some of these telescope findings now is how vast the universe is, right?
Right.
What kind of technology you have to be able to go from one end of the universe to another end of the universe in your lifespan. See, that's the thing. A lot of that travel takes 1,000 years.
Right, 1,000 light years.
1,000 light years.
Yeah, which is traveling. A light year is how long it takes a ray of light to travel in 1 year.
But so we would have to be traveling at a certain amount of light years. But what I'm saying is, like, even in traveling at that speed, it would take you a certain amount of years, even at that speed, right?
Yep.
The speed that they know.
Yep.
So that means that either there are wormholes, right, that they know that we don't know, that's intelligence, or they are advanced enough to be able to get to us from another part of the universe, right? Which I quantify that as intelligence because we can't do it yet.
Well, I mean, okay, so you are the most CPing of CPing in CP. I'll say that because that just went so far left. Again,
that was far left. Really?
No, because I want
the ability to get here from a far place.
Yeah.
In the universe,
so what I was getting to is
we can't do it.
No, I get it. And so the thing is, like, but it's actually interesting to say things that we can't do.
Right.
Did you know that we still have not been able to break down the dialects or languages of dolphins yet? We don't know. We know they have different dialects. We know they have names. It's the only animal that we know on the planet that we've been able to prove have names. They call them whistle calls. And so with the whistle call, like, you can call a dolphin. Like, if you learn what their whistle call is and you can repeat it under the water, which scientists have done, that dolphin will come up to you because that is their name. When they haven't seen each other for a while, and dolphins, like, they will call to each other, they will see each other, they will call each other by the name. They all have their own that is given to them by their mother. Their mother names them when they are born, gives them their whistle call, and they have that for life, and that's what they are known as. And I'm just like, what other animal has that? Like,
that's deep.
And it takes it a step further. So this is where I wanted to get with this. I think this is what I thought you would really enjoy. Is in 1961, there was a professor and a doctor. His name was John C. Lilly, and this is when we really started to dive into trying to understand, like, intelligent life in general, or the intelligence of other things. And this guy was he was kind of experimenting with a bunch of different animals. He was trying, like, monkeys and dogs and cats and stuff, and trying to do things to be able to, like, fire the neurons in their brains to be able to figure out like
what their response was to stuff.
And he encountered a dolphin. And he brought the dolphin in, and he was just like, oh shit. This is on a completely different level than any other animal that I've brought into this lab, to the point where it is now my life mission to figure out how to talk to these. And everybody's like, well, why is that? He's like, well, right now the government is putting people on the moon, or trying to, and we're doing these deep space explorations, trying to find other life on other planets. If we have intelligent creatures on this planet right now that have languages and communications, and we don't know how to talk to them, then how's it going to go when we try to talk to another thing that is intelligent somewhere else?
Well, furthermore, that increases our territory if we're able to talk to the intelligent life in the ocean
Easily.
See, what happens then is if we could talk to them, then they see things in the dark and in the vast dark and out in the ocean. They've seen UFOs that we've never even seen.
You want to take it even a step further that scares the shit out of me that I never thought about is, you know, like the theory of like, what's it called? World building, empire, like community building in the sense of like, or collective intelligence is that if we find the Rosetta Stone, you know, the Rosetta Stone that breaks down like, here's how you translate these languages to one to another. If we find the Rosetta Stone of sorts with dolphins and we're able to communicate with them and talk with them effortlessly at some point, you do like our collective knowledge as a civilization now.
Oh, it increases.
No, theirs does.
Oh, for sure. They
So,
get technology.
They get it. So that's what I'm saying. But you think about the effects of that is that now these dolphins are all going to become aware if they have the ability, which we have proven, they have the cognitive ability to be able to, they are notoriously talented at mimicking. They can learn. We've already taught them artificial languages because we're like, hey, when I do this, do these things. Dolphins are so smart. They can decide if you play them two sounds or like which one, play a sound and say, hey, tell me what other sounds sound similar to this. They can tell you either that's the same sound, that's not the same sound, or the most impressive thing, they sometimes will say, I don't know. Because they're not sure. They're not sure.
Right.
Now, I want you to think about that. When you give an animal a choice, yes or no, a lot of other animals, like a monkey or those other kind of things, they always are just going to hit yes or no. Regardless, even if they're not sure, they're still going to hit a yes or no because they're trying to get the treat.
And if they're not sure, they're probably going to hit no.
They'll never hit the not sure button, is the point. Dolphins know what they don't know.
And that's fucking crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They know what they don't know. And so in that space of saying, how intelligent are they? They don't have opposable thumbs and we can't talk to them. So we're like, well, technology, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, they don't have opposable thumbs. They don't have the ability to like grab things like we did. If they did, what would it be like? Even The Simpsons did an episode on that when like we started talking to the dolphins and the dolphins said, fuck this. They started standing up and took over the land. You know what I'm saying? It became a thing. They took over Springfield. I don't know if you ever seen that episode.
I thought that was Family Guy.
No, that was definitely
The Simpsons. Wow.
So I was thinking, like going into
Family Guy had those black dolphins. That was
I didn't see that one. Wait, tell me about this. Black dolphins?
Voiced by Alex Thomas. Does one of the black dolphins on Family Guy. Dolphin. And they just out there like, yeah, brother. Yeah, they just some black dude dolphins.
That's hilarious.
But man, you're right though, and I do feel like if I were an alien, I would come down and I would talk to the whales and the dolphins.
That happened in Star Trek. There's a whole episode where what they wrote was that there's like, it wasn't Star Trek, it was some movie or it was associated with Star Trek. But I remember Tony Valentino, my business partner who started Transit Pictures with me, he told me this. When he was like, Brennan, you really love whales and stuff. He's like, did you ever see that episode of Star Trek? I was like, the what? And the episode was really about like this really advanced alien civilization came down and they shut down like all the technology of the spaceships around them and everything. Like, they had the ability to turn off everything. And so they came down and so all the humans are freaking out. Like, oh shit, we got to talk with them. Like, we got to figure out how to negotiate. And it came down and it like floated over the ocean. And so the whole episode is about the humans like getting our shit together. Like, okay, we got to get out to where they are, blah, blah, blah. And by the time we were able to get our shit together, get out to them, they flew off. And they're like, what the fuck? What's going on? And they looked down and there was a bunch of whales and dolphins that they were talking to the whole time. They didn't come here. They came here to talk to the most intelligent life on the planet. They talked to the whales and the dolphins.
And I'm going to tell you, not only that, they came and talked to... See, everybody gets a visit. We're intelligent life, and that's cool. And we got our visit, and the dolphins weren't privy to that, right? When they came and talked to humans or whatever. But understand that the dolphins, their territory is the biggest territory on the planet.
Yes, it is.
As a matter of fact, their territory is what defines our planet.
It is. It's a blue planet.
Right. Land is not... Land is nothing more than stuff sticking out of really what the planet is about.
It's just the dry parts.
We're able to live on a couple of rocks.
Yeah.
And drive around on a couple of rocks but theoretically, this whole planet is about water. We are the water people. We are 70% water.
Do you know the planet is also 70% water?
Of course.
Isn't that crazy that we're like a mimic of that?
Well, I mean, we're in balance with that. That's why I always tell people on these other planets, we need to check what their balance is because maybe what we're looking for as life, we're not even able to look for it the correct way.
Yeah, because we're looking for carbon-based life forms. We might have, there's like a uranium-based life form or other elements that we've never even heard of, because right now we think we know all the elements in the known universe, But as we go further into these God particle things, it's like, wait, there's another sub element or kind of things where it's just like, wait, we don't even understand. We don't understand.
Exactly.
Have you heard of the double slit theory in quantum physics?
Hell no.
Oh my God, Negro. Have you heard of this? I think I talked to you about this.
No.
Okay, so this is like, if you're ever going to be interested in quantum physics, this is what will do it. There is a video that describes it much better than I can. That is called Dr. What is it? I'll find it right now. Dr. Quantum, I think, but it's like double slit theory. Bam. It is Dr. Where is it? Dr. There it is. Dr. Quantum. I was right. So CP, you see that video right there? We can't watch it because it's 5 minutes long. But I want you to understand is what he's explaining is I'm gonna play a little bit of it and show you, but we're gonna turn the sound off because I'm gonna explain what he's gonna be explaining here. So what he shows you is like, all right, so if you have a slit like this, so if you have like a sheet in the middle of a room and there's a single slit through it, and you take a bunch of marbles and you fire it at that slit, what's going to happen if you have like let's say they're paintballs, right? If you on the other side, the wall behind it, you're gonna get a pattern that is very similar to that slit and behind it. You see how that pattern is very similar behind it right there? So if you do that, that's what's gonna happen, right? If you have two slits, what's gonna happen, right? Same thing, two patterns that look just like that.
Right.
Easy, we're out here. Now let's talk about waves. If you have a wave, let's say like for example in water, when you drop like a rock in water, that creates a wave in the water and you still have a slit inside of that, you'll notice that the slit creates another wave on the other side, which creates a pattern on the other side where the opening has the strongest pattern on it and everything else is going to be lighter on the outside because the strongest part of the wave goes through. Now, an interesting thing happens when you have two slits and a wave hits that. It's called an interference pattern because the waves are interfering with themselves after they hit each other, after they get through on the two slits that are there. And then you have on the wall behind it an interference pattern that shows that they were doing that, and so that reflects it. Cool? Does that make sense? For you, like, right, this makes sense in physics. So you have to understand those things to understand what comes next. So now we're going to go, so he's just reviewing it right now. So he's just saying, all right, yep, that's that, that's this. Now let's go quantum. Now he takes electrons, which are quantum particles, right? And they fire them through, these scientists fire them through a whole bunch at one time. And they're like, all right, cool, that's what's up. We put a single slit, fired it through, they acted just like the marbles, right? Expected. And then they did a double slit. Watch what happens. You fire it. What does that look like? That is the same pattern.
It's the same pattern
as the waves.
So that means that what we're looking at is invisible waves, or like,
are they? But the thing is it a particle or is it a wave? Because when you fire it like a marble with one slit, it gives the marble on the other side. If you put two slits, then it acts like a wave. And the scientists were like, all right, we're smarter than this. We're smarter than this. We know what we have a theory of what may have happened. When we're firing them, we're firing too many of these electrons at the same time. And so the electrons are firing through on these two things. They're interacting with each other. They're hitting each other. They're not turning into waves. They're hitting each other. So instead of doing that, they were like, we're going to fire one at a time. And guess what happened? The same goddamn thing. They were like, all right, well, what are we going to do? We are going to, actually, what he does here is he says the only thing that they could come to the conclusion is that when they're firing these electrons through these double slits, is what happens is they get there as a particle, they get through, they split up after they get through and become a wave on the other side and then interact with themselves.
that is, I don't agree with that.
But that's what happened. That's the only other thing they could come up with. Because like, what else could happen? Because it's like, if it's particles, it's going to do the particle board. But if it's doing that and it's making a wave pattern on the other side, then you're like, well, there has to be a wave, which means that as it reaches here, it splits before it hits the particle, before it hits the wall, becomes a wave, two different, like a wave before it hits, and then it interacts with itself because it does that before it hits, because it's only one particle at a time that does it.
So what does this mean, though?
What does it mean? They're like, we don't know. This is where it goes crazy, right? Because right now, this part's not even crazy yet.
Okay.
They're like, all right, cool, so let's figure this out. So they fired one at a time. Like I said, they got that same thing. So they're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a little device down here so we can actually watch, because we have these theories about what's going on. So they put a little observation device down there. Right? So like, all right, let's see. They put it down there, and they fired him the exact same way they fired him before. And this observation device noticed that, guess what happened? They fired it through, and it became, well, that's what they thought it was going to be. It ended up being this. Where is it? It's not showing. It went through, it saw that it was being watched, and then acted just like the marbles again and made the marble pattern in the back with 2 strips. Simply the fact that these electrons were being observed changed their behavior, which means that they are aware that they were being watched. And they're like, you're not going to see our secret of how we interact with ourselves and act like a wave.
Now, can I be devil's advocate?
Play it.
Could the observation device and the shape of that obstruct the waves coming through it?
You have to give the credit to the scientists, because this Slit experiment has been repeated multiple times and proven. It's proven that it doesn't make sense. It's like, we don't know. Like, there's no answer to this question yet, why this happens. But there's been a lot of people who have tried to repeat this and say, like, and have been able to successfully repeat it. And no matter how they observe it, no matter how they actually look at this experiment, the particles act like particles when they're being observed, and they act like waves when they're not being observed. And it's just like
You mean, right, waves when they're not, okay.
Yeah, and so when you think about that, it kind of makes sense to me, though. Because when you think about energy, you think about our universe, you think about consciousness, we're kind of like noticing that you can find consciousness in almost anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a level of energy or consciousness in everything. So even down to the electrons, apparently there's consciousness in them. At least that's my theory. Like, there's some level of consciousness, because how else will you know that you're being observed?
See, here's my problem. Shit like this scares me because I'm only scared of, like, strange shit. Like, imagine, like, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and your dog is sitting in the yoga stance and it's going, I want my baby bed, baby bed, baby bed, baby bed, baby bed, ribs. And it just keeps saying that. You're like, what the fuck? And all the lights are off.
Yeah.
And that would scare the shit out of you.
It scared the shit out of me.
Right. Unexplainable phenomenons I am learning I have a slight phobia to.
You should. But that's not a phobia. That is the natural human condition, bro.
Okay.
It is, because the thing is, what like this is that Yoda shit. Like, ignorance leads to fear leads to anger leads to hatred. If you don't understand, it leads you to fear it. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of who we are, and it should be. It's like our defense mechanism. If I don't understand what that is over there, until proven otherwise, it's a threat, and a threat is scary.
Right.
And so I agree with you. It scares me too. It also intrigues me, though. Like, that raises the human curiosity, because now we want to figure it out. So it's like, hopefully these particles don't kill us. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they conscious? What is this? So for me, like, I saw that and it blew my mind, bro. On the physics side of things, I was like, what is quantum physics? Is what and I know I just went, that was my going left. That's me going left, is like this video of Dr. Quantum double slit experiment. If you guys haven't seen it, if anybody hasn't seen it, I promise you, it will blow your mind.
That's dope. I'm gonna definitely look more into that, because I feel like quantum physics, I don't know if people understand what quantum physics are as opposed to just regular physics. I think that for people who don't understand,
I can explain that actually super easily.
Okay, go ahead.
So the difference between quantum physics and regular physics is just the size. Regular physics are the things that we can observe and see in our actual world, where quantum physics are at the quantum level. So you're looking at quantum particles, you're looking at electrons, protons, neutrons, like atoms and shit. So it's just that's technically called the quantum level. So
Gotcha.
It's the physics at that level versus the physics at our level. That's the difference. Now, after that, I have no idea, because it's so hard to study and observe that it's just like the level of things that happen. It's just like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But Did you understand all that, Amir?
A little bit, yeah.
That shit is crazy. Like, I don't know. I've seen that video 8
I don't
times.
understand enough to be like, try to make sense of it, obviously, but yeah, not understanding that quantum is on the quantum level, and yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah, man. So, all right, guys, this is a perfect time for me to let you guys know that after this one, we have one more episode of the CP podcast, as you all know it, on the All Def Caffeine Network. We've had a great time at Caffeine. Our tenure here on the podcast is coming to an end. But what's really dope about it is that, yes, for someone who asked, I'm going to be taking the podcast directly to Patreon. I'm going to be, of course, I got to raise the Patreon price a little bit, but I'm taking the podcast directly to Patreon for now. and then I'm gonna do the after show. So after the podcast comes on, I'm gonna do an after show of questions and answers and just furthering the topic for that week on caffeine, as well as bringing you guys a whole new live comedy show on my caffeine channel. So I would like you guys to follow me on caffeine at Comedian CP, because I'm about to start doing a Two Funny Tuesdays on caffeine. So I do my Two Funny Tuesday show out in California. We just had like Tip came through. We've had Spank Horton. I mean, just like crazy comedian. I don't want to name everybody, but so now I'm gonna be streaming that live every other Tuesday on caffeine as well. So a couple of things to look forward to. The CP podcast is gonna be leaving caffeine, but I am bringing the CP podcast after show to caffeine, as well as live comedy. So yeah, this is very exciting. It's gonna be huge.
I'm excited.
I'm
CP's
excited too.
you gonna have the CP channel. Like,
Yeah, the CP channel. So the
shout out to
Comedian
Caffeine.
CP channel on caffeine. Shout out to Caffeine for trusting me with this. It's an honor, man, to kind of go into this relationship with them, almost like a partner. Just cultivating my own channel, my own content. I'll still be doing things with All Death for sure. But I mean, I think this is a perfect time for me to be able to pivot and begin my journey as a young producer in the game. And so very exciting. I'm gonna have my brothers with me and my sister Maye. She's not here, but so I'm not going alone, but it's gonna be a very exciting journey. I appreciate you guys over these last 2-3 months that we've been doing this on caffeine. It's been dope to kind of get the name and the get the word out there, and now we're taking it to the next level. So follow me on caffeine at Comedian CP or the Comedian CP, and then follow me on Patreon as well, so that we can continue this whole thing. And if you follow on YouTube, that's dope too. Yeah, man.
And we still got one more episode next week. Maye will be
One more
back.
episode next week. Maye will be back and all married, and
She will be all married.
all married.
Mhm.
I was married now.
Yo,
and-
can I tell you one funny thing
What's
about
up?
Maya and her wedding?
What's up?
Is Maya loves to cook, right?
Right.
I don't know if you knew that. When I tell you her wedding invitation, bro, her wedding invitation does not say anything about the ceremony. It does not say anything about the details you actually need. Literally, all it tells you is the 2 times you eat.
For real?
You want to see it? Like, let me show you. Like, this is her wedding invitation. It literally just specifies, yo, this is when the food is. Like, that's all it says. I'm just like, and it's not like a joke or anything. Like,
Yeah.
look, that's the wedding invitation. It's like, yo, RSVP by this time. Food is here. Our hors d'oeuvres and cocktails. Dinner here.
That's lit though.
Right? Like, that's all
That's
you
lit.
really care about,
That's
to be
all- I mean,
honest.
honestly, yeah, I want to see y'all get married, but when do we eat? And there are horse derbies.
There's like hors d'oeuvres from 3 to 4. Food
Hors
truck from
d'oeuvres.
4 to 8.
Horse derbies. Anyway, always the questions, never the answers. Quantum physics. Who knew?
Who
We
knew?
in on quantum physics.
I didn't know we were going to talk about that
My
today.
name is CP, the CP Podcast. Give it up for my special co-host, Brennon. And
Thank you for having
Amir
me.
is here, dressed in all black like the omen. You know what I'm saying?
Love you, Mary.
We outros. Peace.